As a country, the way we have managed waste has been linear in the sense that we have not been segregating waste at source. And because we don't segregate waste at source, it means all the transport of waste is always mixed. And then we dump our waste. In Nairobi, for instance, we have the famous Dandora. And this is the case also for all other towns. That is a linear approach in the sense that we litter our environment. Much of it gets to do land pollution because it gets into the soils and affects our soils. And also, what has rotten causes air pollution. And we have seen that there is value in waste. And how do we derive value out of it? We either reuse the waste, or if we don't reuse the waste, we recycle.
Waste ni wealth, taka ni mali. This simply means that the waste you handle every day translated to financial growth within the circular economy, which in turn will come back round to you.
That is called circular. You are doing circularity because you are ensuring that you derive as much value as possible, and little waste is actually being made because a lot of it is being recycled.
My name is Simone Andersson. I'm the Chief Commercial Officer here at the WE Center. We have a circular business here since 2012. It all sprung out of Computers for Schools Kenya, a non-profit since 2002, deploying computers out to schools and also refurbishing them. After a few years, we realized that we were posing a problem towards the schools because the computers, after a while, they become obsolete. So we started a take-back scheme. We take it in and we look at the things that we've gotten, which could be anything from cables, chargers, mobile phones, computers, fridges, light bulbs, batteries, you name it, anything that is electric or electronic. And then we dismantle what cannot be reused or resold. We dismantle it into fractions, different types of metals, different types of plastics, and we have local dealers or recyclers that will buy these items and use in their production.
In the process of circular economy, what happens is that items, once they come into the system, they can be reabsorbed back. And there is a very huge opportunity for people who want to take up in the sector for circular economy. Besides the electronics and so on, there are other opportunities that are coming up, and it's something that we can take up. WE Center alone is not able to cover the whole of Kenya. So SMEs and youth groups and CBOs have an opportunity to come up and partner with us, and also partner with any recycling firm to be able to uptake the opportunity that to come in.
We have about 30% of waste that fall under the category called inorganic. This is like metal, plastic, textile, it could be shoes, it could be all that. Now this is what is taken to a material recovery center. And it is in those centers that they will be sorting to various categories of different waste streams. And then they will be, if they are still good, they will be reused. Or if they cannot be reused, then they are taken through recycling. Means there will be industries created that will then recycle. So the beauty about this is that you are creating jobs, green jobs. And I think this is the beauty about circular economy. So it's going to help in expanding the economy. Only that waste stream that is hazardous is what is required to go to a landfill.
My name is Norbert Agesa. I work for Kamongo Waste Paper Kenya Limited. Kamongo Waste Paper Kenya Limited has been in operation for the last 30 years. Basically what we do here is segregate the papers into different grades to make it easier for now the big recyclers. We have a group of ladies that we have employed. Their work is to do the segregation, to grade the papers into their different grades. After grading, we bale the papers together into huge bales for easy transportation and also for storage. Now the paper will be ready to go into the market. So much is generated in terms of waste paper. And so many people don't know that through these waste materials that are generated from our homes every day, from our industries, from our offices, can really be a good source of wealth and also a source of employment to many youths. It will also help us safeguard our environment, because instead of all the garbage, as people call it, go into the landfill, it's reclaimed back, brought back to us and other industries like maybe the plastic recyclers, and they're recycled. So I'll advise maybe the government to come up with incentives, like maybe tax incentives, to enable the youth and other people who would like to enter into the recycling industries. Many jobs will be created, wealth will be created, and also our economy will be boosted.
The law is now making it mandatory for those in households or in industries or even in offices, wherever they are. It is a requirement that you must segregate your waste between organic and inorganic. Organic waste are those like food that has remained, all that you will be required to put in a green bin in your house. The other dry waste, you put in a blue one. What is considered most likely hazardous, you put it in a yellow bin. We recycle. Or if it is organic, for instance, you take it through composting and you get value out of it, like for instance, manure and animal feed.
I am Edwin Kamau, and I'm the Managing Director of Eco Holdings, where we actually repurpose both food and market waste into an organic fertilizer within 24 hours. The resulting organic fertilizer that comes from this process is very versatile in terms of increasing soil fertility and increasing food production. Now, all these things we are doing here are to enable us to be ensure that we have an environmental friendly process which is sustainable and one that actually encompasses a green and circular economy. Our challenge I foresee when I look ahead, will be us being able to meet the demand. In terms of circularity, we are affecting those three aspects, the waste management, agricultural production, and climate change at the same time, just to ensure that we are able to have a better environment, better foods, and make sure that we are not affected by climate change issues. When we go the circular way, we are better off. In our homes, it's a high time now the government needs to actually catalyze this whole process of the separation of waste, whereby you separate the waste at source. Because when we do that, then it's easier to deal with it. A lot of education and awareness need to be, go out there so that people see waste as value.
You are doing circularity because you are ensuring that you derive as much value as possible, and little waste is actually being made because a lot of it is being recycled. Now with this shift to circular, for instance, some of the plastics being recycled, we are seeing them being used as paving blocks.
My name is Nzambi Mate, founder of GGEP-MEF Limited and also part of GGEP team. GGEP ni kampuni tuna provide or rather produce and manufacture alternative building products. Product yetu ya kwanza ni pavers, zile zenye zinatumika kwa barabara, zinatumika kwa parki, hizo mawe hizo. Na tunatengeneza using recycled waste plastic. Tuna process using machinery. Tulianza 2017. But ki production na ki sales tulianza 2020. Uptake imekuwa fiti sana. Right now tunatengeneza brick moja, but demand imebidi tuna diversify na tuna hope tunaweza get more suppliers ndio tuweze kumeet demand ya product finished goods. Juu production capacity tu bado ni less kidogo. Ningetaka kuwa invite mkuje kwa circular economy, mcheki ideas zenye ziko kama hizi zetu za Jijenge, muone kazi safi tunatengeneza na what we hope to proceed in the future. Juu tunaona sasa tunatengeneza za barabara, we hope kutengeneza za MJE. Juu affordable housing pia ni challenge, so if you can have affordable building materials, pia itakuwa form yote from recycled waste plastics. So chekiani.
Apart from those companies I have mentioned, we have also seen some estates in Nairobi already practicing circular economy. For instance, Nyayo Estate in Nairobi. And I want to recognize the role, the very good work that they have done, because they have organized themselves in such a way that each household has different bins based on dry, organic, and what is supposed to be hazardous. To 3 of them, they have a collecting center, and from there they are taken to material recovery center, and the estate is clean. That is voluntary compliance. They have done it without already a requirement by law that should be the case, but they have done well. This is really what we expect all Kenyans to do.
My name is Teddy Obiero. I am the chairman Nyayo Estate Residents Association, NERA. 1.5 years ago, we embarked on recycling. This is particularly plastic. We focus on plastic because we knew plastics is choking the environment. So far, we've done about 3.5 tons. We've managed this because we collect, we separate, we segregate our plastics at source, kutoka kwa nyumba. So when you take that soda, when you drink that water, when you have that yogurt, hiyo chupa tunaweka kando pembeni, and then we've designed a cage where all the plastics go in and they're collected on a monthly basis. We didn't know we could make money from plastics. So as we collected, then of course the other question is, where do you take them? We got a partner in Athi River, T3, and they said, you know what, guys, we can take these plastics from you at 10 shillings per kg. When it gets to the factory, we've been there, they actually they pallet them for other uses. So it can be used in a 3D kind of a machine where they want to design toys with this. They're actually doing fabric, polyester fabric. I have a t-shirt from plastic. You wouldn't believe it. You know, I'm challenging the bodies, the authorities, county government of Nairobi, probably NMS, if they can come with a model of segregating all this with the bin liners, color code them, whatever has to be done, because it is very much possible. Once we do this with enough civic education and living example, people who have actually done it and managed this, it is very possible. And this is straight to Nairobians. Nyayo Estate is part of Nairobi. We are 30,000, we've done it. 1.5 years, it's not a joke. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but it's doable. It's commitment, it's passion.
We are saying waste is wealth. Taka ni mali. And that is what we want to tell Kenyans, that let's not be in the practice of just throwing things, because we need to be the stewards of our environment, be responsible enough to safely dispose waste, but we know also that as we do that, we can still get some little money out of the waste that we are disposing.
My name is Mavji Varsani, owner for Wins Plastics. We are basically recyclers collecting plastic waste. We started this company about 12 years ago. The main intention of the company was to ensure how we can be able to manage waste. It has a lot of benefits about it. So it's a matter of now seeing how we can make best of what the waste we produce, how we can be transformed. We produce less waste, transform more, and I think we'll be able to reach a solution where we are going to be able to eradicate the plastic waste. We have seen concepts internationally where they're able to convert about 6 tons of plastic to a nice house. We can change the slums. Yeah, the government can give initiatives, they can give grants for such kind of projects. And we encourage people to come here and see that this is nothing magical. This is what we do every day. Yeah, and it can be done from your side to help manage the situation. The thing is, people have to understand that and appreciate that, yes, there are people who want to do it, but now is the support they need to also do. So it becomes like our partnership to be able to see how we can control it and reduce it totally.
Our experts have estimated that every Kenyan produces an average of half a kilo of waste per day. Nairobi generates about 3,000 metric tons of waste per day. Our ministry, working with the Nairobi Metropolitan Service and the Nairobi County, have come up with a waste management action plan for Nairobi. The NMS is already doing its best to implement it, even as this new law comes into place. So I recognize the work that is done, has been done by NMS and the Nairobi County, and we ask all other counties to come up with such action plans. And this is why I'm appealing to Kenyans to be our stewards of the environment. We try and inculcate a good culture of managing our environment, especially to our kids, that your own home becomes the example of what you want the rest of Kenya to look like. Because change begins from where you are. It begins from you. And if you change and everyone else changes, the sum total of it will be a very good Kenya.
Step into a more sustainable way of life and ensure a better tomorrow. Play your part in the circular economy. Usi waste, taka ni mali. Waste is wealth.